In the upper left, it's LiquidSnute. All you European fans, just go ahead and show this stream out to all your friends. It'll help out. In the lower right-hand corner, consistently, I guess you'd say, pretty strong Protoss, to say the very least, from China. He is Zenith of Origins top. And I'd also like to highlight that he is one of those guys who consistently, what's the word I'm looking for, qualifies for WCS America. It seems like every single season he's out there, or so I can remember. Since 2013, I believe qualified for, I believe he qualified for WCS 3 times over in 2013. 2014, he beat Violet to get into Premier League Season 1. That's all I can remember of his performance. Says the one matchup he hates the most has got to be Protoss. I kind of like Snute's playstyle, so I'm kind of rooting for Snute just a little bit. Let's just put it at that. Okay, so we got a lot of fill-in time here. In case this is your first time venturing your way into this stream, my name is BreakerSC2. I'm a very strongly focused play-by-play caster, but unfortunately my play-by-play has been clouded by the fact that I am ill today. I'm on drugs that are making me drowsy and thus affecting my ability to think critically. You can also hear that I'm sick right now. So I'm not one for excuses, but I'm trying not to be that golf clap caster that you guys hear at X name brand or Y name brand. And I'm just trying to get through the day here. I'm really hoping that tomorrow I'll be able to deliver a solid quality cast. But it looks like Top's going to be doing the same thing that we saw from Snute or not rather Snute, but from Puck in game number 1 versus Sejong. He's just going to go straight into the main scout. He isn't too concerned with the third right now. I don't blame him for that. And I believe that was a pool before extractors. So I think basically what we have coming from Snute here is not so much in the way of map control, maybe some kind of a passive ling speed control that he's going to try and go in with. And as you can see, Top sees no third. So the question is, what choice does he make right here? He's beaten Violet before, but between Violet and Snute, I don't know who of the two is a stronger Zerg or who of the two has a stronger ZVP matchup. So, I mean, there's all kinds of X factors that we can throw into this game. Top thinks that there's something strange going on here because his opponent continues to take gas. And he has seen that extractor for a while. It's only enough to get metabolic boost, and all 3 of the drones are immediately pulled off of that extractor. So Top thinks this is a little bit weird, but in all actuality, this is perfectly normal. This drone is hitting the third at about 4 minutes and seconds. And we see a 26 or 27 supply hatchery going down. Not too terribly offset by the fact that LiquidSnute he's going for speed, if you will. And every now and then you might hear the microphone just mute, and that just means I'm doing something that you guys don't want to hear. Because it just doesn't sound good, like coughing or sneezing or anything else in between. So I just don't want you guys to hear something that's going to sound totally disgusting on stream. Right, well, I'm thinking Top's got some kind of forward pressure in mind, considering he's already got the cybernetics core and the gateways down. He doesn't really have to do damage per se, so much as he has to basically stop his opponent's economy. And there's no really solid rule, there's no solid rule of the game to follow, but a good rule of thumb is if you're able to considerably stop your opponent from droning up, then I think you're basically in a winning position. But there's 9 drones being slotted up for Snute, and there's no forward pylon here anywhere on the map from our blue Protoss. He does, of course, have a probe on that Zelnaga watchtower, but that's it. Okay. A little bit of lag here on my end. Of course, I am actually located in China, and I'm streaming to a website that's outside of China, which is miraculous too. to me, and in and of itself I find it quite miraculous. But I think this could evolve into one of many builds coming from top. I think it could actually also go into Robo into 3 Immortal, if that makes sense. I mean, with as many sentries as we see here, I would not doubt that whatsoever. I'm not saying, oh, boom, it's going to be that. No, 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 no. It could be something entirely different. I'm willing to admit that, especially now that I've only just now seen this Nexus in production. More gateways on the way. Snute's not going to go offensive with this just yet. He actually wants to build up his own economy. Putting it bluntly, Snute's economy right now is outdoing that of Top's just a little bit more. Once he gets 4 drones more on that third base, he'll be in that perfect position. And he's going to be getting Hydralisks out as well. He's got +1 missile attacks on the way. And I feel like we'll have a better idea of just what he is trying to do once we see either muscular augments or groove spines in research. Groove spines I think would be a little bit better for defense, and the creep spread is not all that spectacular. Even though it is not, we can definitely see that, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, we can see... I'm sorry. We can see there's a huge difference in the way that Sejong and Snute spread creep right now at this stage of the game, but we can already see that ZooTop is moving out as well. I think it's going to try and break down the back door of Snute, and Snute's going to have 10 Hydras ready to go, while we have Top with not so much in the way of high ground vision here. However, those rocks are being targeted down. I think the Hydras could hit those Zealots if they wanted to, but not going to nitpick, not going to say, oh, this is what Snute should do. But Groove Spines is just about to finish up, just as we see LiquidSnute, or excuse me, just as we see Top breaking down those rocks. Look, he's going in. There it is. The force field's in beautiful positioning as well. And now Hydras, they're getting siphoned out really well. ZooTop is doing a good job here versus Snute. He's actually able to break in there and get the natural. The Hydras here are now they're in a desperate position. The drones get trapped in a forward position. They got pulled off the line in a position that really doesn't help them. Alright, so the entire natural mineral line is almost completely annihilated. There's a handful of Hydras here. There's more and more on the way, more and more about to pop, but there's just so much Protoss here that I think Top says, so where's the GG button on this? And he's even pulling drones from the third right now. This is highly situational. He might be able to hold it, but even then it's going to be very, very difficult. Oh my god. The Hydras are kind of whittling away at the Zealots now, taking damage for all of those Zealots. And guess what? That's exactly what those drones came to do just now for the Hydras of LiquidSnute. Top is now. I think this is a push that's beginning to lose its steam, but at the same time, Snute doesn't have so much in the way of gas income. That's what's really hurting him in this offensive, if you will. He's got a handful of drones on gas mining, but it looks like this might be the positioning where he needs to hold. He's doing a good job so far. The sentry is looking like it's in some trouble. And Snute's done it. He's held his ground. I wouldn't say he's entirely out of it, because of course Top did get a considerably high number of workers killed, 23. And that was just, I guess you'd say, a bit of the mind games by throwing down that third base. He took it from, I guess you could say, forward offensive into full-blown all-in mode. Good job, good call by ZooTop, to be perfectly honest with you guys. Oh man. Now the hold is real. I think he's gonna try and take down these rocks, and once it does, guess what? It's a solid hold on that base. But it looks like we're going to have Top come back and try and poke at the natural. If he's not able to do any game-ending damage here, it could actually be something that just, it shoots him in the foot. Sorry about that misclick, sorry. Drones have been pulled yet again. And they're just basically here to tank for the Hydras that are the real DPS machines, if you will. There's no room for Roaches to enter the battlefield. Yes, they cost about half the gas as Hydras, but I mean, they're still what need to be used. At this stage, in this particular situation. Gateway units versus Hydras. Hydras almost always come out on top. It all comes down to the numbers, the positioning. the DPS output, things of that nature. And guess what? +2 missile attacks is just about to finish up for our Zerg, who's now in the right position with all those Hydras. Top is running out of options here. It looks like what I thought was a game that he could win is actually a game that looks like is now getting more and more geared towards Snute taking the lead in the series thereof. Nice little pick off on this pylon. This will actually end the offensive coming from top. It will have to, essentially. And now the main looks like it's going to start going dry here pretty soon from top. But at the same time, the third is there for backup immediately. It's kind of oversaturated for the time being. He's going to have to throw it on a fourth base very rapidly if he hopes to keep up with Snute. Infestation Pit going down behind this, and I'm thinking it's going to be... locusts and swarmos that we see coming out of LiquidSnute's base, if that makes sense. We'll see them hatching from the larva, if you will. No, it's actually just going to be a straight-up tech up to Hive. Alright. I think that's viable in this situation. I think that's what's... It's a pretty good choice, given what we have coming from top, and I think it's one of the safer choices. Because getting large number of storm hosts out on the map is actually, how do I say this? It's going to cost a lot more time. Here we go. Snute is now trying to break his way down there into the natural, if not the third actually. And it looks like this engagement could work against our Zerg. He's at 150 supply. Check that versus ZooTop's 120 supply, if you will. And the attack range upgrade is actually helping these Hydras out quite a bit. The Sentry's tanking a little bit of damage for the Stalkers, but it looks like in the end it will be the Stalkers that prevail. There's a Warp Prism here, and this could be the complete turnaround of the game that ZooTop's been looking for, but at the same time he's nearly losing that Warp Prism. A handful of Hydras do get into the main here. It looks like they just opted not to engage anything else. The probes just getting mineral patch clicked. Oh my god. Oh my god. What was researching on the Twilight Council was just cancelled. And whether it was Blink or whether it was Charge, well, no one's ever going to know now unless they were looking at the production tab before it fell. But this is critical in the essence that it's going to put top behind in the way of his tech path. He's going to have to rebuild that Twilight Council if he wants any hope of getting what's the word I'm looking for? Any hope of getting out High Templar, but here comes the next wave as well. Poke's going straight onto Snute. He's trying to chase down these Zealots, but it's just not working out. Fifth base going down for our Red Zerg as well. He's in a solid position. I don't think there's any way he can lose this game. But we do see that AoE is coming out now. And I don't think there's any coming back from this from top. I mean, yeah, he can try and hold off until the Colossus hit the map, but it's just... I think he's going to be able to hold that. Look, we can see the assault in the front door. He's trying to bait out the engagement from top's main army. He says, I want your main army, and then I want to kill your mineral line. It looks like he may not... He's going to get that mineral line with or without the main army fighting him head on. Look at this. More Warpins coming in. That Zealot's going to fall, and then it's the probe line. Oh, this is not too good. +3 attacks now on the way for our Zerg as well. +2 attacks never even got started for ZooTop. He's backed into a corner. There is the GG.